What we're gonna say, Alex is the physiotherapist. He comes in every now and then. He's
Once a month.
he's as loyal as a fucking cucumber. And he's gonna give Mikey a rundown. I don't know what they do up there. I don't know what they do up there, but it's usually an hour or two. And he says that he's brand new every time afterwards.
Once a week.
Same sort of massage every time?
It just depends on like, how many niggles, feel tight anywhere, aches, pains. It's mandatory to have one a week. We use like the oxygen chamber as well for if obviously I want to go into deeper recovery, ice baths, stuff like that. So obviously you come up, you'll rub me down and I'll go in the oxygen chamber for an hour every now and again. But yeah, can I have my back down today please?
Back, yeah. Lower, upper.
What's been the problem? Upper.
Okay. You had any problems in training?
No, I just feel a bit tight. That's fine.
Through the lats, how are you through the lats? When you're coming over?
So then?
Through the lats?
Yeah.
Yeah, or on the shoulders?
Yeah.
Neck?
Yeah.
How'd the spar go?
It was good, you know, just done 5 3s, quick, it was like reactive.
Good. Pick up any injuries or anything?
No, it was alright, you know.
How'd you doing it?
Good, you know, it's quite like an even spot with quite similar styles on it, like quite reactive, he's reactive, I'm reactive.
Okay. It's called a gua sha. So we use the gua sha to indicate any sort of tight areas. So it's just like more of a diagnostic tool, so we run through the back and then I'll find any areas and then just communication with Mikey then, what's hurting, what's not. And then it just allows us to focus the session on that, so then we can go through with our hands, massage gun, cupping, anything that we need doing. So you can actually see it on the skin. Just go through an area. Tight through there, Mikey?
Yeah.
So you can see how this area, so we've got good blood flow around this area and it's just a bit paler in this sort of area, and it's due to the thickening of the muscle fibres. So just run through and you can actually feel it when you run through. That's a knot, so that's what you indicate as a knot then. And then I'll just focus on that area then, and then we'll work through the rest as well.
And as much as it's quite a generic thing for everyone to say, oh, I've got a knot in my back, isn't it?
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
And then everyone says, oh, can you get this knot out?
Yeah.
How easy is it to actually get a knot out?
Depends on the therapist, doesn't it? Depends how good he is. But no, it is quite, once you get used to it and know what you're feeling for, and there's different techniques that you can use, it's quite easy. But if you're doing it yourself at home, there's things like tennis balls or aids that you can do, but you can never really get the same pressure as someone that's actually working through it.
Okay.
But yeah, so it's quite, like you say, it's quite common to someone say they've got a knot, but there's also potential that it might not be a knot as well. So it's actually knowing what it is as well. Typically, it will start with, if I was had a new box come on, for instance, we'll run through, see if there's any injuries or any existing injuries that we need to sort of acknowledge and work through, and then we'll sort of get them to a point where they're recovered. So with Mikey, was it your left shoulder, right shoulder?
I think it was right.
Right shoulder, so we worked through the right shoulder, we made sure we conditioned it so it was okay. And then we got into a state of maintenance now, so this is where he comes in once a week, and that's when we do the work. And just it's more prevention over cure now, which is the way I like to work.
Are you working on his right side because he said that he wants the right side, or you'll switch over to the left?
We'll switch over, yeah. It's just good to know as well what's going on at the back, so if he's got one area tighter than another, you can start to look at imbalances and see if it's anything to do with maybe form or the way that he's doing conditioning.
Right.
Or any new techniques we can work with Anthony then and just say, sort of work together.
So you work closely with Anthony in regards to the boxers and...
Yeah, so I work closely with I think it's good to have that relationship between coach and the whole team really. So nutrition's a big one as well, because there's certain foods that you can have when you're recovering to help speed up that process of recovery. There's different techniques and equipment like you see here what we can use, and then like the oxygen chamber out there, the cryotherapy, all that sort of stuff. And in terms of Anthony as well, if he's doing a session with Mikey but it's going to cause more problems, and we just have that conversation and say he's able to do this or he's not able to do this, so that way Mikey can still train and tick over but without injuring himself. Cryotherapy, yeah, so that's it's like a blast freezing, and we use that to improve blood flow, and it actually quadruples the amount of blood that's actually flowing through the body, so it improves recovery. So for Mikey, for example, because he's going to be training tomorrow as well, it's all about the 1% of recovery. So if he's feeling a bit more tired, it means he can put less effort in tomorrow. It just keeps him ticking over. Same with the oxygen chamber, similar process. Pre-fight we'll go through basic warm-up drills, a bit more of an intense warm-up than we usually would. I like to focus a lot on sort of activation, so muscles that they're going to be using, you want to be getting them working at explosive sort of speeds. So when they go into the fight, they're 100% from the get-go. And then we pass it over to Anthony then as well, and the nutritionist, they'll have their intake of what he needs to do, so certain foods he'd have. And then Anthony will work through pads and techniques and drills. And then post-fight, check over any injuries or anything like that, and celebrate the win. Make sure you breathe in and out. So we offer the foot health treatment, so any hard skin, verrucas, corns, which is quite common in the boxers to get hard skin around sort of this region. So due to the rotation when they're going through the punching, you'll develop a lot of like what we call a callus. So a callus can then develop into a corn, so like you get like a stabbing sensation in your foot. So then it comes down to maintenance again, keeping that cut down, making sure it's not sort of building up too much, but you don't want to take it down too much off it, because then it will be like red raw when they're training. So it's just all about management and maintenance, and being that anything sort of health, they can come towards you and say, look, I've got this, what can I do about it and how can I manage it? And then we also do the physio as well. How are you feeling through that? Yeah? Yeah. Right, so we'll go through some cryotherapy as well.
Do you do that in here?
Yeah. This one's a lot tighter than the other one. Yeah. That's for this sort of region we've been working through. So you can see the redness of where we've been working. That's where we're going to target the cryotherapy, just to make sure we can get the effective results of the massage and get that sort of extra 1% from the cryotherapy.
Do you want to explain what the cryotherapy is?
Yeah, so this is a CO2 canister that we use, and it generates and it attaches to that device there. So I'll talk you through it as we use it. Be able to see the device. So True Cry, I work with a couple of professional fighters as well. I've worked with AJ Bunker as well. She's been in used it before her fight. There's Ben Whittaker uses it as well when he's with us. So we're going to open the gas now, and it's going to cool this nozzle to around -4 degrees. And it means you can work through the back with Michael. This is to help reduce the inflammation that's been generated throughout the massage, because we've been sort of working through an area vigorously. You can see the temperature of the skin's actually coming down, and that penetrates all the way through to the muscles. It means that the recovery the next day, like we say, is a lot more efficient because you've flushed out all them toxins.